I'm Malcolm Van Delston. This is an excerpt from How Low Can You Go, Book 5 in the Do the Wrong Thing series. 2 Mondays ago, Ava started art school late, couldn't get into the classes she wanted to, and felt out of place. At home, she also felt out of place. She wants to live in a seedy hotel and knows of one in Westrood. Trigger warning, there is racism in this piece. There I am in the mirror, sitting up in bed. I'm wearing a black bra. Beautiful tattooed Ben leans on a pillow beside me. Buddy Holly glasses, lean, muscled, less muscled than the last time I saw him in Arbor, but soft, melancholic, a bit defeated, accepting of how things are. Not about me, Jesus. He's always had that slow, appraising gaze. Sapphire fire. His crystal blue eyes against pale skin with those red lips, redder than a normal person's, top part curling up away from his face slightly. I know I've said all this before, but he looks like a Greek statue. A British Greek statue. He's from Wales. I didn't mention that yet, did I? I see why the British made their flag blue, red, and white if this is the kind of men they grow, the kind that make women lose their minds. Femme fatale in a gritty film noir or realist movie with a tragic end, or a grainy black and white photograph. I take a drag off my cigarette. I'm the woman I've always wanted to be, but never had the guts to become. Rewind. The room, small, not too small. It holds a double bed, the dresser with the mirror, a half-working half-fridge, a hot plate, a kettle, and a few dishes and utensils. Large walk-in closet that fits all of my clothes, including the big box of stuff I got from the free place but couldn't sell, and some storage. My bike leans against the shelving unit with the built-in TV stand covering the wall at the end of the bed, and on the wall that meets this one, to the right, a regular-sized window opens, allowing Sagan to come and go as she pleases. She jumps out onto the outcrop that isn't an awning, but isn't a roof either, above the hotel lobby, which isn't a hotel lobby as much as an antechamber or vestibule. To get to the rooms part of the Van Horn, you can enter off the street, directly into this vestibule, or via a hallway from the bar. 2 doors at either end of the bar's hallway close off the room's entrance from the noise and rowdiness of the drinking area. This antechamber is small, with a desk built into the wall, where a clerk or security guard sits, an area to get out of the rain or away from the cacophony while he checks you in. No place to sit, only big enough for 5 or 6 people, hopefully with little luggage. The doorman/receptionist doesn't let anyone through a white wooden door raised up from the floor by 3 steps to his left unless they have a key. If someone visits, he calls up to your room before opening up for them. He leaves when the bar closes around 1 a.m., but returns when it opens at 9 a.m., and is usually a small, skinny guy, about my age, with long brown hair and a disinterested demeanor. Probably a guitarist or singer in a local band. Yes, many people eat breakfast at 9 a.m. at the Van Horn, aside from me and the other tenants. I leave the window in my room open even when I'm out. I don't know where Sagon goes, but she always returns calm, composed, nonplussed. When I'm home, I prop my door open, and she makes friends with the other tenants. 2 lesbians live in the corner suite on my floor, above the bar. Man, you don't know how happy I was to meet them. It's not only old drunks and me who live here. They throw a small party. 5 of us sit in a circle, drinking beer and smoking pot. I'm surprised that classic rock blasts from their ghetto blaster. I thought lesbians had better musical taste. A guy named Clive, who graduated from Prudence Heward last year, smokes with me. Clive's got a show coming up at one of the hottest alternative galleries in Westrood. Can you believe it? I followed my heart to this seedy hotel and end up meeting, all my classmates would be jealous. Even my teachers would be. A performance/audience participation show at Specious Gallery. It doesn't get more prestigious than that while still being underground. The last guest at this do, another hotel tenant, is a young, hillbilly. Blonde hair shaved at the 1/4-inch setting with clippers. I know this from when Wally shaved my head. All glistening gold and a pale, soft face. Does he even shave yet? Why is a kid living here? He wears overalls and a plaid shirt. We used to play Broom the Coon, he laughs, sharing one of his fond memories from the small northern city he grew up in. What's that? One of the lesbians asks. You've never played it? He looks surprised. The lesbians, Clive and I, look at each other, shaking our heads. You drive around in a truck with a broom smacking coons when you see him. He laughs, a nervous overlaugh. Clive, the lesbians, and I stare at each other. Raccoons? Clive essays. The kid, red faced but calmer, grins in the sly, half proud manner of someone who knows what they've done is wrong, but believes it gives them cachet or respect with an in crowd. He shakes his head. No, coons. Black people. Freebird doesn't blast from the boombox, but in the silence it sounds like it does. Clive, the lesbians, and I look at each other until the more masculine of the women turns to the kid. That's not cool. The boy's smile drops. His eyes make O's and his mouth opens a little. How would you like it if someone did that to you, for no reason other than how you look? His face crumples. You're hitting people with a broom from a truck, the more feminine lesbian exclaims. She isn't feminine per se, but more so than her girlfriend. Maybe they aren't a couple, I don't know. She has long hair and wears a plaid shirt like the kid and baggy jeans. But we didn't mean it, the boy stutters. He looks like he's going to cry. It's okay, she says. You didn't know any better. But don't do that, okay? That's. She shakes her head and grimaces. The northern hillbilly looks at her and nods, short and sad, before dropping his head. Clive offers me a smoke, which I take. People do this in Canada? I'm thinking. I thought it was a southern U.S. I saw Mike in the bar a few days ago. He's bought another restaurant. The more masculine lesbian breaks the silence. Mike owns the Van Horn. With his fur coats, silver and turquoise adorned cowboy hats, and silver tipped cowboy boots, there's always a lot to talk about with him. The kid sits there looking forlorn and uncomfortable, while the rest of us carry on.